सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् अग्रे पश्यामि तेजो निबिडतरकला यावली लोभनीयं पीयूषाप्लावितोऽहं तदुतरे दिव्यकैशोरवेशं तारुण्यारम्भरम्यं परमसुखरसास्वाद रोमाञ्चिताङ्गैः आवीतं नारदाद्यैः विलसदुपनिषत् सुन्दरी मण्डलैश्च
Gurupavanapure Hantabhagyam Janana. Namaskaram to all the Astikas. In this process of experiencing, delightfully experiencing the beauty of Sriman Narayaneeyam, Bhattatri relives the very experience of Narasimha. That is when he said, how the father asked, Are kvasau sakala jagadatma harihi prabhintisme stambham charitakaravaladiti sutaha. And in return, when he struck the pillar stambhe ghattayato Hiranya Kashipu karnau samachurnayanna ghurna jagadanda kunda kuharo ghorastava bhudravaha. From that pillar emerged one avatar of Bhagavan. What is that avatara? From now on, he will describe that avatara and further the battle that ensued between Hiranya Kashipu and Bhagavan. Daitye dikshu visrishta chakshushi maha samrambhini stambhataha sambhutam na mrugatmakam na manujakaram vapuste vibho kim bhishanameta vyudbhranta chitte sure vispurjat dhawalogra roma vikasad varshma samajrumbhataha. Hey Vibho, the one who pervades every bit of space, Daitye Maha Samrambhini, that Asura, that particular Hiranyakashipu, Maha Samrambhini, who got very perturbed by his very own anger, Visrishta Chakshushi Dikshuhu, with his eyes roaming about in all directions, there, Sambhutam Stambhataha Devapuhu, he saw that something has emerged from the pillar that he has struck. What did he see? Devapuhu, hey Krishna, this form of yours as Krishna and Guruvayur came as one different form there. Devapuhu, your form. Na mrigatmakam. It was not that completely of an animal. Na mriga atmakam. You cannot say this is completely of an animal. Na manujakaram. Neither can you say this is that of a human. Nor is it that of a human, nor is it that of an animal. Na mrigakaram drishtva asure, seeing on which that asura vyudbhranta chitte sati iti, like a mad man, completely perturbed, agitated state of mind, completely afflicted with some ailment, like that, vyudbhranta chitte, mind, vyudbhranta chitte, some agitated mind, sati iti, with that he exclaimed, kim yetat, what is this? Bhishanam adbhutam. Bhishanam adbhutam. See, he uses two words. What is this terrifying form? What is this wonderful form? See, even for an asura, this form has been very attractive of that of Bhagavan. So that is why, there are examples given in commentaries. Imagine you keep giving your child a banana. A few days later, you introduce the child to milk. So the child has consumed banana, has had banana before, and now you're giving milk. And one day you mix banana and milk, give the child a milkshake. The moment the child has milkshake, the child would never ever want to go back to the banana and the milk separately. There are many avatars like Rama Avataram, Krishna Avataram, Aveshya Avatarams like Kapila Vasudeva, of that of Parashurama. These are all Manushya Avatarams. At the end of the day, they were humans. There were some which were of that of a fish, aquatic, tortoise, amphibian, Varaha, which lives largely on territory but on marshes. Then there is that of a bird, Hamsa. So there are some which belong to the animal, bird, fishes, reptiles category. Some with that of humans. Now, like how banana and milk come together, so does Mriga and Manushya come together. So Nara and Simha is Narasimha or Nrasimha. Narasimha Vapuhu Shriman says Sahasranama. The moment he saw this, he knew how beautiful this form was. So he says, Yetat Bhishanam Adbhutam. How beautiful is this form? So in Rama Avataram, the beauty is, Rama was praised by his mother Kaushalya, was praised by his father Dasharatha, was worshipped by his brothers Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna, was loved by Sita, was literally friends with Sugriva, Vibhishana, was the very Swami for Hanuman. But their praises don't hold much water because there are people who love Rama. You know what is great about Rama? Shatroho prakhyata viryasya ranjaniyasya vikramaihi. More than the stuti done by his very own kith and kin, his enemies will praise him. So Shurpanaka will praise his beauty, Tara will say this, Ravana will say another thing. So that is the beauty of Rama. Same is the case with Narasimha. For Raghava Simha, that is the example. For Narasimha, what is the example? So Hiranya Kashipu says, Yetat Bhishanam Adbhutam. This form is very terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Then Tvam Samajrumbhataha. Then in that very place you grew into a very, very different form. What does he say? Vispurjat Dhavalogra Roma Vikasad Varshma. That form that you took looked like Vispurjat. It looked like a lightning, thunder. Then he says Dhavalogra Roma Vikasad Varshma. That mane and all that bristles and the mane that he has was white in color. So he says Dhavalogra Roma Vikasad Varshma. So that mane and the bristling hair, everything was white. And with that Bhishanam, with that frightful moment, he came. Next. Tapta Swarna Savarna Ghurnad Ati Rukshaksham Satakesara Protkampa Pranikumbitam Baramaho Jiyatta Vedam Vapuhu Vyatta Vyapta Mahadari Sakha Mukham Khadgogra Valgan Maha Jihwa Nirgama Drishyamana Sumahadam Shtrayu Goddamaram Jiyat Idam Vapuhu Tava. This wonderful form of yours, Bhattatri says, Tapta Swarna Savarna Ghurnat Ati Ruksha Aksham. It looked as if the eyes were as if, gold was molten and fit into those sockets. Swarna Savarna Ghurnat Ati Ruksha Aksham. It was rolling throughout. Satakesara Protkampa Pranikumbitam Mahaha. So he says, the beauty of the garments of yours was hidden in that movement of your manes. The other meaning given is Satakesara Protkampa Pranikumbitambaram Aho. So that particular mane that flew upwards even covered the sky. Vyatta, Vyapta, Mahadari, Sakha Mukham. So your mouth looked as if a cave was open. So he says, Vyapta Mahadari Sakha Mukham. Then Khadgogra Valgan Mahajihwa Nirgama. That tongue that came out of Bhagavan's lion-like face was rolling like the sword that would roll in the hand of a person, like say a warrior who fights in the war before he ends up fighting his enemy. So Khadgogra Valgana Mahajihwa Nirgama Drishyamana Sumaha Damshtrayuga Uddamaram. So when he says those 2 ears were standing upwards, then he talks about Damshtra, the 2 molars. So he says, Nirgama Drishyamanasu Maha Damshtrayuga. So that molar was so strong like cannot eat, it used to come out of Bhagavan's face. So he opened his mouth like a cave, the Damshtra came out, the ears stood up, the manes were flying in the air, the manes were covering the ornaments. So was Bhagavan's form. Then he continues, Utsarpat Balibhanga Bhishanahanu Hrasva Sthaviyastara Grivam Pivara Dosha Shatodgatanakha Kruramshu Durolbanam Vyomolanghi Ghana Ghanopama Ghana Pradhvana Nirdhavita Spardha Luprakaram Namami Bhavataha Tannara Simham Vapuhu Aham Namami Tat. I prostrate before that form. Narasimham Vapuhu Bhavataha. That form of Nara plus Simha, Narasimha, Narasimham, Nrisimha, Narasimha, that Vapuhu. Why? Bhagavatam says, Satyam Vidhatu Nijabhritya Bhashitam. It was his Bhritya, his Brahma, who gave certain boons. Bhagavan has to honor his children's words. So he came in a form that would suffice the conditions of Brahma. Vapuhu Bhavataha Utsarpat Valibhanga Bhishana Hanu. So these Hanu, these cheeks, were looking fierce because of the folds of skin which were drawn upwards. Then Hrasva Sthaviyastara Grivam. It was a short but a very thin neck. Hrasva Sthaviyastara Grivam. It was a short, stout neck. See, compare this with Hayagriva Murti. He will have a long neck. That is why he is called Griva. Very notable portion will be his neck. It will just bend like a horse. Hayagriva, long neck. Whereas for Narasimha, it was already covered in manes and his neck was short and stout. So he says, Hrasva Sthaviyastara Grivam Pivara Dosha Shatodgata Nakakruramshu Durolbanam. So the most beautiful part was the rays emanating from his nails, which were looking like Vajrayudam. Kruramshu Durolbanam. So from his stout arms, sharp nails, rays of light were emanating. So we must be so vigilant here. In Sanatana Dharma, every part of Bhagavan's Rupam is so beautiful. In Narasimha Avataram, he came with nails. What were these nails? Karagrai, Nakali, Shakri. So, these nails, as per Ahirbudnya Samhita, is nothing but Sudarshana Chakra. So, Sudarshana Chakra, which had infused in the Vajra like long nails, were used to tear open. Now, what do these nails indicate? These nails indicate Bhagavan's Ayudham here. That is why in Vishnu Sahasranamam we say Sarva Praharanayudha Om Namaiti. Sarva Praharanayudha. The one who can even deploy the nails as his weapons is called Sarva Praharanayudha. Those nails were used. On these nails, Madhvacharya has composed a stuti called as Nakastuti. So Nakastuti is on the nails of Narasimha. This Narasimha came out with the nails. Kruramshu Durolbanam. So he says it is what was so sharp. One of the students in a commentary 1000 years back asked his teacher. It is said that when Bhagavan was inside the pillar for a long time, because he has to emerge only when Hiranya Kashipu strikes it. What was he doing till then? How did he spend his time? Like how you're all spending your time listening to Narayaneeyam. How did Bhagavan spend his time inside the pillar? Was a question asked by the student towards his teacher. To which the teacher said, Bhagavan was polishing his nails, sharpening his nails. So he spent his time that way. So he says, Pivara dosha shatodgata nakakruramshu durolbanam. So those nails were so sharp that Bhagavan deployed these nails. Says Bhattatri in this particular shloka series where he describes Narasimha Avatar. But what happened after that? See, Narasimha has to end up fighting Hiranyakashipu, finally kill him and bless Prahlada. Did that happen? And how did that end? All that in the next episode.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 नारायण